Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're discussing June 2023 favorites because I've been trying a lot of products. I haven't done one of these videos in a really long time. I haven't done a video in a long time, but it feels good to be back. I'm excited that you're back, or I'm excited that you're here, period. Whether it's your first time or you've been here over the years. If you're into these types of videos, then go ahead and give this a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you. We are gonna get into some makeup. I've even got some smell goods. I've got a little bit of everything, including a product that I get questions about often because I wear them every single day. I'm just excited you're here. Let's not even wait any further. Let's go ahead and get into it. The very first product that I'm gonna talk about is probably something that you've heard about. It has been all over social media, on Instagram, on TikTok, here on YouTube, and that is the Givenchy Prisme Libre Loose Setting and Finishing Powder. This stuff is the creme de la creme. Right? Is that the saying? It is top notch. It is phenomenal. I am even gonna go ahead and get into some hyperbole here. I'm gonna say that this is the best loose powder that I have ever used. Here's the reason why. It is so fine. It is so fine. And it just sets your face like no other without making your face feel stiff or look overly dry or anything like that, which has definitely been my experience with some loose setting powders in the past. And it's just great. There's a few things to talk about when it comes to this. So first and foremost, this is the color 5, which is Poplin Mimosa. Number 5, which is for like medium to deep skin tones. So of course I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm a black woman, so this probably will work for me. Turns out it's a bit too deep for me, to the point where it almost looks kind of orangey on me. So I was like, okay, so let me switch it up. Instead, I opted for the number 4, which is the Mousseline, I think it's Acidulé. I wanna say that that's what it is. My memories of French class in high school are coming back to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it's Mousseline Acidulé, but it's number 4, shade number 4. So what's great about this powder is that it has 4 shades, 4 unique shades, as you can see here, 2 for correcting and 2 for radiance. And I think that's lovely. That's definitely what you feel like once you set your face and finish your face with this powder. You do feel radiant while all of your imperfections are blurred. I mean, the size of your pores are noticeably minimized. I just love how it finishes my face, no matter what foundation I have on. I've been going back and forth through a couple of foundations in this past month specifically, and it looked great with both. And so that's what really impressed me. I love this powder. It's great. Of course, I was a little thrown off because I personally have never used a turquoise or lavender corrector, and I'm still getting used to color correcting as a whole, and we'll talk about that in a little bit here, but I love it. Of course, it has this beautiful, you know, very kind of luxe packaging from Givenchy without doing too much. In my opinion, I think you can do a little bit too much for the sake of being luxury, but of course it has the Givenchy logo. It's like this black square. I love like the cubed kind of packaging. And even though I don't have it in here, it does come with a little Givenchy puff, which is nice. And that's it. I don't personally use the puff, and I'll talk about what puff I actually do use with it, but it's beautiful, you know? And it is pricey because it is Givenchy. It's $59. However, I do think for somebody like myself who wears makeup more days throughout the week than not, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. Like, to me, we'll see. I probably will get through this in a couple of months. And if a couple of months is 60 days, that's about $1 a day. So that's not crazy in my opinion, you know, because inflation is still a thing. For $59, I think this powder is well worth it. It is the best powder I have ever tried. And for that amount of money, for it to do what it says it's going to do, I'm in. I'm completely all the way in. So Givenchy, bravo, because this powder is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so I mentioned to you that with the Givenchy powder, it comes with a puff from Givenchy. I don't use it. I have actually been using the Beauty Blender Power Pocket Puff, and the only thing I don't like about this is that I didn't get it sooner. Honestly, where has this thing been all my life? I love it so much. I obviously use it a lot. What I love about it is that it is machine washable, or just like washable with your hand. I probably wouldn't toss it in the machine because it's so small. So you can use this plush pink side, which is like soft and plushy. And that's really what you want to set your loose powder with. And that is what I use with the Givenchy powder because it's just so great. It pretty much picks up the powder, and you just kind of put it on, you know, under your eyes or wherever you are setting, because this product was really created for setting and baking, and then you can go ahead and push the product into your skin on the tan side. I typically can do my setting with the plush side, and what it does have is this elastic band. So if you need to put your fingers in here, which you need to have some control, you can do it on this side, or of course you bring it on the other side and you can do it on this side. And it has the little teardrop shape, so you can get precise with it, right? With the point, you know, you can use the rounder part for more spacious part of your face, but when you're doing the under eye, this tear shape is just perfect. If you really want to get precise, there's like a little pocket and you can put your 2 fingers in it and then really have some control. This is typically how I use it the most. I don't really use the band too much because I feel like I'm getting the most control here. And it's almost like a little, I don't know if it's a jelly inside, but it's just like it fits your fingers really snug and perfectly, and it just works marvelously. Bravo, Beauty Blender, because this has been my go-to. I have used this every single day that I have put on makeup over the last couple of months because it is unmatched. I feel really confident about when I do my makeup thanks to products like the Power Pocket Puff and the Prisme Libre powder. So, bravo. Remember when I was talking about color correcting and how those 2 color correcting powders in the Givenchy powder really does blend seamlessly and beautifully? I was talking with a few friends over the last few weeks about this, and we were talking about color correcting. I went to the beauty supply store probably around like Memorial Day with my mom and my sister, and we saw the LA Girl Pro Conceal color corrector. You know, LA Girl has been faithful. Their concealers have been, you know, to me, they are a beauty supply store staple, if I say so myself. I was like, you know what? I've never tried color correcting, so I was like, let me grab something. So typically I see people use the orange corrector, but they usually have deeper skin tones than I do. So I just decided to pick up peach, not knowing what I was doing. I had not watched any videos or read any articles on how to properly or appropriately color correct. And this thing is almost empty because I have used it every single time I've put on makeup since the end of May. It has changed the way my foundation looks. It has just evened out my tone. My skin just looks amazing whenever I put foundation on, to me, thanks to this. Obviously because of skincare, obviously because I'm drinking water like my life depends on it. But besides those 2 other things, the color corrector, she's just been that girl. I thought I was doing it wrong, and if I do this right, you'll see the vlog after you see this video, but in that vlog, I'm like, I'm not even sure if I'm doing this correctly, if I'm color correcting correctly. It makes my foundation look flawless. And for the most part, over the last month, I've been wearing the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, and it just goes beautifully with that. I have another foundation that I'm about to tell you about that I've been wearing this with as well. But in both cases, this has done the trick, and I love it so much. A cheap and cheerful find if you have been wanting to play around with color correcting without breaking the bank, or you wanted to try color correcting before investing in a more splurgy product. I'm telling you, this is the way to go. It is so creamy and lightweight. You basically can use it to conceal, to contour, to do so much, you know, obviously to color correct. I simply just put this on all of my hyperpigmentation spots and any place on my face that's a little bit darker, and basically it's darker from hyperpigmentation. And even though it's this peach color, whenever I let it dry, you know, for a couple of minutes, and then I go ahead and I proceed with my foundation and my beauty blender. I love it. It just makes the base of my makeup look so seamless. And I'm like, is this the thing that everybody has been doing that I've been missing out? And it's like, girl, yeah, because Jackie Aina told us about this like in 1978. I am late. My apologies to Jackie and the entire makeup community that I'm just jumping on the train. But now I'm here as a faithful and enthusiastic member. So the LA Girl Pro Conceal in Peach works for me. I think orange would have been too deep. So I'm glad I didn't do the orange for me. I like the way the peach has been working for me. So when I mentioned that I had been doing 2 foundations, one being the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, that's what I'm wearing now. I believe that I've talked about it just because NARS is one of my favorite brands and I really do enjoy it. But I also wanted to try a luxury brand, and I've been having my eye on this foundation for a while because so many people rave about it, and I love that it comes in a pretty full range, and that is the Armani Beauty Luminous Silk Oil-Free Foundation. And it is in the color 9, which I think is a pretty decent match. Look, is it 9 or is it 6? Either way, it's a great match. Let's stay focused here. It is just what it says. It's luminous silk. It's giving medium coverage. It is lightweight, but it's medium coverage, so it is buildable. So you can build this to more full coverage if you would like. But I think for a time like this, in the summer when the weather is noticeably warmer, I think a nice medium coverage foundation is really great. I have been applying it with my beauty blender, and I've been doing my color correcting. But what I actually am wondering about is what this would look like if I applied it with my foundation brush. If you have tried this out and you've used your foundation brush, or just let me know in the comments below, like, are you using your brush or are you using your beauty blender? I usually just pump a few pumps on the back of my hand. That'd be pretty much my little makeshift palette. And then I just kind of dot product on my face, and then I take my damp beauty blender and I blend it in. And that's how it's worked for me. You do want to blend this quickly though. Like, you don't want to let this dry a little bit. I feel like with the NARS foundation, like, it could be on your face. Like, I could go run and tell the kids to do something. I do think that once this sets, she's there. You want to act fast with this, in my opinion, but I do think it is an absolute beautiful finish. It really is more of like a luminous, radiant satin finish. It's not matte and it's not glowy, but it is that really beautiful in between. I guess it's giving silk. It is definitely doing what the name says. I actually think I tried this years ago and I never went back. I think from what I hear that the formula has changed. Don't quote me on that. But for what it's doing now, I really did like it. So I'm gonna revisit with the brush, see if it acts differently. But for me right now with the beauty blender, it's doing what I need it to do. So if I'm not mistaken, this is probably one of like 2 or 3 blushes that I have used this year, but it is the only cream blush that I've used because it is that good. The Tower 28 Beach Please Lip and Cheek Cream Blush in the color After Hours. So it's like this deep kind of berry color. Granted, like, my makeup brush has been all over it, so it almost has like a little tint from just whatever my brush has left on it. However, it's still vibrant. Like, to me, even though this is berry, this is still giving season appropriate in my opinion. I just love the color. I love how it looks against my skin. What I also love about this is the formula. It is very much so a balm. So it's not very, very opaque. So I do think this is something beautiful that you can wear with a CC cream or tinted moisturizer. I also think it's the kind of shade and the kind of formula that you can wear if you are fully beat down, if that's your ministry and just in full glam. The formula is absolutely beautiful. I love that balm. It's just great. Like, you can get really opaque with it if you want to. It's also very balmy. And what I'm excited to try is wearing it on my lips. I don't think I knew until just like prepping for this video. I didn't know that it was for your lips as well. For me, I apply it with my brush, just like a regular blush brush. It's not a big and fluffy one. It's a little bit more tapered. It has some fluff, but it's a little bit more tapered. I just tap it in there and I just build. I do like to build it because some days I want to look a little bit more modest and everyday friendly. But for something like this, I want to look a little bit more oomph. This Beach Please in After Hours, she's the girl. I love her so much. Next up is the Danessa Myricks Beauty Vision Flush Glow Super Radiant Liquid Highlighter in Tiara. Baby, if you're looking for glow, she's the one. I have never used a highlighter more glowy than this. It is stunning. A little bit, let me overemphasize, a little bit goes a long way, my friend, because wow. I personally do not use any tools or brushes when I apply this, and I just give it 2 dots, 2 kind of medium dots, like moderately applied dots. So it's not super light-handed, but it's definitely not heavy-handed. And then I just blend it in with my ring finger just to blend it in, and it just blends in beautifully. It blends in beautifully. You can wear it like that, or you can even blend it with your highlighter if you're looking for ultimate glow, you know? I think something like that could be great for like body makeup to give yourself super glow if you're going out on the town, or you have a special event, or you have a photo shoot. I think for me, that could be a bit much for my entire face, especially because I live in Atlanta. That sun will it'll just slick me down. That just seems like it would be a lot. I do love the Dofa applicator. It's pointed, so you can really just give yourself the little points that you need. I think it's absolutely stunning. The shade Tiara is kind of like a champagne glow. To me, it's in the middle. It's not uber warm. It's not super yellow and gold, but it's also not super cool and silvery. It's like a perfect middle. It is like a true champagne. To me, it's like right in the middle. And I like that because I think you could wear this all year round, but of course it looks beautiful, you know, during this time of year. Danessa, you've done it again. Does Danessa do any wrong? I haven't seen it yet, but gosh, this is just such a stunning product. So let's get into eyes. First, I want to talk about something that I get asked about often, and it's something that I'm wearing right now, and that is the House of Lashes Iconic Light Lashes. I love these lashes so much. Like, unless somebody else does my makeup, and honestly, even if I'm getting my makeup done, like we're getting ready to go to LA next week and I have to film for something, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna probably take a brand new pack of these with me because they're just so good. So House of Lashes has Iconic, Iconic Light, and Iconic Luxe. Iconic was something I used to wear all the time. And then I discovered the Iconic Light. And to me, it was giving glam, yet still giving everyday. And I really liked that. I'm either a no makeup girl or a full makeup girl. I don't really have an everyday makeup kind of routine. It's either glam or nothing. And so I did like that the Iconic Lights just had a lighter feel and flutter to them. I also think that this is the kind of lash that looks really great with the shape of my eye. But if I'm being honest, I think it looks great with almost any eye shape. And if I'm being honest, these are probably, maybe because I wear them all the time, but to me, they're not hard to put on. I say this as somebody who used to ask Chris to help me put on lashes because putting on lashes was so hard. But I do think they have a really great band. It makes it putting on easy, but it also makes reusing it easy. So I can easily like peel the glue off and reuse them. I can probably get a good dozen times wearing these, and they're sold out online, and I completely see why. These are just such great lashes. So this next product is actually an oldie but goodie, and that is the Anastasia Soft Glam Eyeshadow Palette. I had this years ago, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if I just like, I think I got this maybe in like 2019, then 2020 happened, and you guys were all there. I was still wearing makeup because I was still creating content and stuff like that, but I don't think I was using this palette as much anymore. And I think it ended up just kind of aging out, and I ended up tossing it or whatnot. Victoria on In the Fro, I think it was during Fashion Week that she had put this on, and it really looked nice on her. And granted, we look very different, so I knew it was gonna look different on me just because we look very different. What I did get excited about was just the tones of it. It definitely felt really warm, and it felt like it would be really great for warm weather. The tones of this palette are very warm. They're pinky because they have shades like Dusty Rose and Rose Pink, which is like more of a rosy metallic pink. very rose gold. They have lots of, you know, orangey browns. They even have the black shade. So if you want to do a smoky eye, you definitely could. I tend to gravitate towards these mid-tones, the burnt orange and the orange soda. I've already hit pan on burnt orange, as you can see. I like a neutral eye. Like right now I'm wearing, I think I'm wearing orange soda today with rustic in the corners of my eye. I think these pinks and oranges and browns and even the black can really make for a beautiful day to night palette. I think you could really create an awesome look for work. And then if you're going off to a date night, you could build it up, maybe create a smoky kind of sultry look with the shades in here. If you're looking for a warm toned eyeshadow palette that you can use every day, but if you need like some party options or going out on a date options, then I really do feel like the Soft Glam palette has it all. It really, to me, is one of those palettes. Honestly, this could take you through fall too, because you have shades like mulberry and you do have that black. So beautiful, beautiful palette. I'm so glad that I put it back in my rotation because I've literally been using it every single day. Let's talk about smell goods. So first up is a fragrance. It's an eau de parfum, Tom Ford Bitter Peach. My sweet love, Christopher, got me this for Christmas, and I've literally been wearing it almost every day. I'm pretty sure, I mean, we're almost there. We have to be to the very bottom of this. It's the smaller bottle, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I personally haven't experienced Tom Ford fragrances missing. I just don't know that life. This is beautifully fruity and floral, but it's still sexy. Like that is what Tom Ford as a brand, they get with their clothing, with their fragrances. This is fruity and floral, but this is definitely for grown-ups. So the main notes of this are Pêche de Vigne, patchouli, and blood orange. And I mean, when I say divine, I mean, this is just, it's exquisite. That's the only way to describe it. I'm lying, there's many other ways to describe it. On the website, if I'm not mistaken, it says that it's explicitly sweet and dangerously voluptuous. I'm just saying, this for grown-ups, okay? So if you're looking for something grown-up, you like a fruity situation, you like a floral situation. It's like if the Real Housewives franchises had a perfume that represented them, this is definitely Real Housewives of Atlanta. Anytime I wear this, I get questions about it. And I am somebody who does layer her fragrances. Baby, you don't need to layer nothing with this. You don't even want to miss the point with doing that. Like, hands down, one of my favorite gifts that Chris has ever given me. I will absolutely be repurchasing this. Okay, so the next smell good I want to talk about is, I don't know if I've ever really talked about a deodorant on here before, but we have to talk about this native in vanilla and sandalwood. When I think about layering my fragrances, obviously I think about either spraying one or two different types of perfumes, or I think about even the kind of lotion that I'm using. But when we're thinking about fragrance layering, guys, let's also think about our deodorant. As somebody who has been wearing something more on the sweet, fruity, floral side, the vanilla, the sandalwood from this deodorant just seamlessly blends in with like my scent for the day. You know, you've got the sweetness from the vanilla, but the muskiness from the sandalwood. I love sandalwood. And like, for this to be a deodorant, it's like, I'm not lying, it's like putting perfume under your arm in a way that's not too intense. It just is so great because, again, if you are wearing something that is sweet, that is musky, this is gonna be the deodorant for you. I saw this and I was like, vanilla and sandalwood and a deodorant? Yeah, sign me up. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe it's like you have specific deodorants for specific seasons. I think that's another way to layer your fragrance. Include your deodorants. All right, we're rounding out this list. We're ending with a smell good, a candle, the Jo Malone London Nectarine and Blossom and Honey candle. Oh my gosh, it's just wonderful. It's pretty much gone. I'm not exaggerating. I have burned this every single day since Mother's Day. I'll say this, and I think I talked about it I think I talked about it in last year's fragrance, either last year or 2 years ago. I forget. I think it was last year. I did a roundup of like my 9 favorite fragrances, like my 9 go-to fragrances. And I believe the Jo Malone London Nectarine Blossom and Honey was in there. This really lovely sweet scent that is still potent, but it's sweet without being juvenile. And I think that Nectarine Blossom really balances out the honey in this really grown up and interesting kind of way. We've all smelled something that may come off a little bit too sweet, you know, like we've all smelled something that was like too vanilla, you know, or too floral. I think it's about finding notes that balance each other out and you don't get just one thing too much. And I love it as a perfume, as a eau de parfum. I love it maybe more as a candle. I love when my room, like my bathroom smelling like this. What a treat. Yeah, obviously I liked it because I got it, what, almost 2 months ago, maybe like 6-7 weeks ago, and it's gone. Absolutely will be repurchasing this again. You know, the Nordstrom anniversary sale is about to come up and they always have really great deals on Jo Malone products, especially Jo Malone sets. Jo Malone items are just lovely. And I think this was my first Jo Malone candle. Certainly won't be my last. Like your bathroom smelling like this is just a treat. Just a treat. Well, okay, my friends, the sun has gone down and we were kind of using it as a light. My children, I think, are up from their naps. That does it for this video. I will link everything that we just discussed in the description box with links to, if they're, you know, in stock. I'll make sure all of that stuff is down there for you. I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. I'll see you next time in my next video.